Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I want to talk a little bit about this lawsuit that Devin Haney has taken out against Ryan Garcia, because Haney is suing Garcia for battery, fraud and breach of contract. And this obviously pertains to the failed PED test after his contest with Garcia, in which he was floored several times, really beaten up badly. It was a bad beating, the sort that takes years off your career. And with regard to the lawsuit, the statement that was released last week said that while Devin Haney agreed to participate in a prize fight against Garcia, at no time did he agree to engage in a bout against an individual who had taken performance-enhancing drugs. Now, let's add to the fact that Garcia came in 3.2 pounds overweight for that fight, but Haney still agreed to face him. With regard to the PED test, Garcia was suspended for a year, which isn't a great deal. I mean, he's only a young man, so that's not a great deal. And he was fined $1.2 million. Again, pretty much chump change for him, really. So Haney he's obviously not happy with the situation, and he wants his slice of cake. He wants to maybe sort of hammer home the fact that he was overall unfairly treated, or should we say even played, by Garcia and his team. Garcia's promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, he obviously is going to support Garcia. He has done in the past. It's all, what do you expect from promoters? They're going to support their man, aren't they? Garcia himself has said, "I'm being sued for doing my job." This fight has been a Netflix documentary, but that's right. Here is the finale, Your Honor. He simply struggles with left hook syndrome. Yeah, and Bill Haney has said it's not about Devin, it's not about championship, it's not about the shit that he did, it's about the sport and what's right and what's wrong. They say it was all about the left hook. We say it was about drugs. That's what Bill Haney says. So this back and forth stuff's going on and on and on. And a lot of people have criticised Haney for this, for taking out the lawsuit. They've said, it's all it's bad, sour grapes. The guy got beaten. You got beaten fair and square, really, and you got smashed up. So you're just bitter. It's all about having a salty attitude. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all, because to me, all right, he made a mistake. I think it's a bad mistake, Haney, in allowing the fight to go ahead when Garcia had failed to make weight by 3.2 pounds. Agreeing to fight the guy after he's come in 3.2 pounds overweight that was mistake number one. They do say pride goes before a fall, and I think in that case, this is a case of it, a good example of it. But in terms of the PED thing, no, I think Haney has a genuine grievance here. Now, you can talk about what type of PED it was, how much it was in his system, did it or didn't it, add to the arsenal that Garcia had. And I guess you could ask the question, would Garcia have lost had he not taken the drugs? And we can pontificate on that all we like, but the bottom line is this. Garcia failed a PED test. He failed a drug test. Okay. And yes, he's been suspended he's been punished with the year's suspension and 1.2 million and all this sort of thing. But I think Haney has a point here that looks on the surface of it, a 1 year suspension, 1.2 million for someone like Garcia. It's not that much. And Haney is thinking, hang on a minute, I've been done here. Because it was the type of beating he took that takes years off your career. Dare I say it, a year or two off your life maybe as well, because he was smashed up bad. So I think you can argue that, I understand why people say it looks like sour grapes, but you know what? It is possible that this is both sour grapes, but also a justifiable action by Haney. Because, again, if you strip it down, if you take away the personality politics going on here, whether people like or dislike Haney, and I have no horse in this race. To be honest with you, I think Garcia's away with the fairies. I've no time for him at all. And Haney's always struck me as being a bit arrogant and a bit self-absorbed. So I don't particularly like either of these guys personality-wise. But I do understand that Haney is probably thinking, I've been served a shit sandwich here, and I'm not happy about it. I'm not going to pretend it's that it's been done. It's been resolved. I want my day in court. I want to prove a point here. I'm the one that took those punches. And yeah, okay, again, we can talk about what type of drug that it was that was in Garcia's system, or whether he deliberately took it to give himself more of an edge, or all this stuff. To me, it's not relevant. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care about the personality of Devin Haney. I don't care about the character of Ryan Garcia. The bottom line is that there are rules, and the rule was that obviously failing a PED test breaks one of those rules. And now some people are saying, yeah, but the suspension and the fine means it's resolved. Well, it's kind of like when you hear about someone, I don't know, getting a 2 or 3 year sentence for raping someone. It's not enough. And I understand why people say that if the law is toothless and the law is a feeble-minded and feeble-able-bodied thing, I'm going to take things into my own hands. I'm going to go, it's kind of like if somebody is found guilty of a crime, they can then be sued by the family of the victims, or the victim, him or herself, in a civil court, because they can be hit where it hurts in the pocket. And Haney I think Haney has a right to sue Garcia. I think Garcia was in the wrong here. Again, ignoring the personalities of the respective fighters. I'm not interested in that. So I think criticism, especially from someone like Bob Arum or someone like Oscar De La Hoya, who are promoters, who are, they can criticize all they like, but it wasn't them taking the punches. At least De La Hoya was a fighter. Bob Arum never was, as far as I know. He was a lawyer, wasn't he? So no, I don't care about the criticisms of those promoters. I don't trust any promoters at all. The bottom line for them is money, and for them to sort of start casting shade on someone like Haney, who was the one who took that beating, and saying he shouldn't be suing another fighter. It's a bit rich coming from them, isn't it? When all they really care about is money. And De La Hoya, standing by Garcia, a man who, failed a drugs test, has criticised De La Hoya, has criticised Bernard Hopkins, has been an absolute fly in the ointment for Golden Boy Promotions. Why is De La Hoya still supporting him? Because he can make money out of him, of course. That's all he cares about. He don't give a fuck about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is just another fighter that he can make money out of. So when you add all this together, no, I'm kind of reluctantly, and not reluctantly, that's the wrong word, but I'm kind of casually in the corner of Haney. I support Haney over Garcia in this instance. It'll be interesting to see where his career goes, how he can come back from this. What type of fighter will he be? I don't think he'll be the same fighter that he was prior to the Garcia fight. I think that's the type of beating that will diminish you greatly. Kind of like, the beating that Roberto Duran put on Davey Moore, if you're old enough to remember that fight, or you've ever seen it. You had Davey Moore, who was touted for great things or very highly thought of. Duran just obliterated him, just smashed him to pieces, and he was never the same again. I think we might see the same thing with Haney. And if his career has been shortened by illegal use or illegalities, illegal behaviour, yeah, he's entitled to say to Garcia, I want some of your money. You haven't paid enough for this, but I'm going to make you pay. To be honest with you, if I was in Haney's position, I'd probably do the same, to be honest. So let me know your thoughts about this. I want to know what you think about Haney, about Garcia, about just all of it. If you've got any thoughts, leave them below in the comment section as normal. and I'll give them a read, and I'll answer as many as I can. I get a lot of comments, an awful lot of comments. So if I don't answer your comment, please don't take it personally. But I do read them. I do read them all, honestly. I read them when I get up in the morning, just before I go to bed. All right. Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel if you know, and hit the like button as well if you like the video. I always appreciate your time, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.